this is Mark from 2DogRC. I'm going to show you how to install Cleanflight for your Nighthawk 280. So what I did is go up here in Google, type in Cleanflight, then you click this one. You're going to need to use the Chrome browser for this. It runs actually in Chrome. So once you go here, you're going to have a download button there. Since I've already done it, it says launch. This will work for either a Mac or a PC. So once you get it, you're going to hit launch. So basically we're going to come over here. Now first thing you're going to have to do is don't connect to your ship. You're going to click firmware flasher. You're going to choose the firmware. It's going to be 1.9 days stable. You always want a stable version. So you select this. You're going to click load firmware online, and it's going to do this. Now plug your ship in and then hit flash firmware. This little board is going to populate, and then when you're all done, it will go green. So then now at the board, now you've got Cleanflight on here. Then you hit connect, and it'll take you to this screen. First thing you do is calibrate accelerometer. You just click that, and just put it on the level table, and it's done. Then you do calibrate magnetometer, and what that does, you move at least 360 degrees on all axes. So you click this button, and then you're going to move the ship, as you can see in my picture here. Spin it on, there's a yaw axis, there's the pitch axis, and then there's the roll axis. So there we go, that's done. You have 30 seconds to make all those moves, and then it will appear, it says it started, and 30 seconds it will finish. You want to do these two first before, especially if you're going to offset your board a little bit with the tilted motors. So that's here. Now it's done. Now I always just check it. Let's see. That's about right. I'm kind of on vacation doing this, so there's the beach. So that's about right. Here we go. There's up, down. There's roll right. There's roll left. So that's pretty good there. All right. Next thing you're going to do here, ports, we don't do anything, configuration. For the Emax here, we want motor stop on, that way your motors don't spin when you arm it. You want one shot enabled, and then you set your max throttle at 2000. That's right in the instructions from Emax. Come down here, and I'm using PPM. I'm using this FreeSky D4 receiver, so I click this. If you're using one wire per channel, then you just keep it in the serial. The VBAT's not connected, so I have that turned off. And that's all you do there. So once you click those, you're going to hit save and reboot. We'll do that now. So there you go, rebooting. Alright, here's going to be your pitch adjustment. If you want to counter the motors being tilted, you can adjust the pitch now to a negative maybe 8 or 9 degrees and see where that gets you. I'm going to leave it at 0 just because that's how I'm going to fly this ship. So if you want it so that in auto level it stays level, maybe put a negative 8 there. Alright, next thing you want to do is come over here and do our motors. As you can see, this is kind of messed up. It's not as easy as some of the other systems. You're jumping all over the place. And we're going to do this motor test here. You understand the risks. Make sure your propellers are removed. Anytime you're adding new firmware, doing this stuff, take your propellers off. It's just dangerous. So what you do is you click this button, and then we're going to move this slider all the way to the top. Then we're going to plug in our flight battery. It's going to sing. And then there it goes. And then we're going to move it all the way down. And it sings again. There. Okay, and then we unplug it. Now our motors are all synced up. Then the next thing we're going to do is come over here to receiver. What you want to do here is make sure that when you move, you're going to need your flight battery plugged in again on this one.
Telemetry recovered.
Yay, my Tranis is happy. Alright, so what here you're going to look at, okay, now when I move my throttle, does my throttle move? It does. So most of this, when you first install it, it's actually the default, and your throttle is going to, here, I'll do this, save. Okay, so this is default. It comes like this. Your throttle is your roll on a Tyrannus. So if it's the wrong channel, come over here and move it to the appropriate one. If you're using a Tyrannus, use JR and save, and then just check it. Always check stuff. Okay, so throttle, yaw, pitch, roll. It's easier to check it now than to have to replace props. This stuff don't really mess with. RC rate here, you can maybe bring this one down to, I'm going to bring it down to about 75 actually. And this works pretty good here. We're going to hit save. Now the PID tuning, this is kind of where you're like, whoa, what's going on here? But don't really need to do too much. These values that I've got entered, these are not the default ones. So take a look at these here. You might want to pause the video and write them down. All I change are these three: pitch, roll, pitch, yaw, and PID for those. 1.4 and 1.4. There, yaw 0.1. Let's hit save. So make sure your PIDs match this with Lux Float. I use this as the controller. They're all different. You can read about it here in this documentation, all the differences. But I got this working pretty smoothly for me, and I liked it there. So then you come over here and our modes. You can use the switch to arm it. Angle mode is your full auto level. Horizon's a fun mode to flying. It's like auto level with rate mode at the end of the stick throw. This is a really good one. And then if you don't have anything enabled, like here, this is rate mode. So for me, I have two rate modes, one with more expo than the other one. And then here you've got a beeper. If you have a beeper attached, you can add that here. We're gonna go. I've got one. I added one to my ship. So we're gonna do aux2, and you can hear it here. Let's see. Oh, I moved my slider. And move this to the range. And there we go. So there's my slider. It goes off when I move aux2. Alright, so that's basically all you need to do to get it up and flying in base flight. Some adjustments you can make. This will make it RC rates kind of, I don't know, more control throw on this one. And then also in PID tuning, if you tune up the roll and the pitch rate, that's how much it moves and how fast it moves in this mode. However, in each mode of the PID controller, you've got 5 here, the roll and pitch may do different things. So you can also look up in the documentation what all these things mean.